What's going on, Shady people? Shady Penguin welcoming you back to another UCL prep video. This week we are prepping for the Long Island Regirockies. And I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I think this is going to be one of our toughest matches, if not our toughest match. So if you guys want to support your New York Mankeys, please show some shady loves, that thumbs up down below. I would really appreciate it. We're going to go over our opponent's potential team right now. If you do not know, if you're somehow new to the UCL, basically every week we battle in a league style format. And on Fridays we prep for it. And on Saturday we upload the battle. So today is Friday when you guys are watching this. So we're going to go over our opponent's team. Nips, coach of the Long Island Regirockies, aka my best friend and neighbor. Did you know that he literally moved out of his parents' house into the same development that I live in, just so he could live next to me? I'm the one that did that. We have Mega Manectric, Gliscor, Breloom, Tentacruel, Mamoswine, Tornadus Incarnate, or Tornadus. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people hate how I say Tornadus, but that's actually, I think Jay Flynn told me that's the correct pronunciation, but I'm gonna go Tornadus for now. Bronzong, Durant, Delphox, Frogadier, Persian, and Haunter. And I can be totally wrong about this Tornadus. You guys can have fun with it in the comment section. But that's his potential 12. And my potential 12 that you guys know by now is Landorus-T, Mew, Mega Pinsir, Milotic, Infernape, Blissey, Jolteon, Skuntank, Shiftry, Gramble, Girder, and Regirock. So, of course, I have Regirock at my disposal. I'm not gonna use it. I'm gonna let you guys do it, all right? I'm not gonna use it. So, looking at Nips' team really quick again, he's got some really crazy Pokemon. Mega Manectric is one of the best Pokemon, in my opinion, in League format. I believe I used it in Season 1 or Season 2 of the GBA. Really, really solid Pokemon. Being able to have both Volt Absorb and Intimidate when you choose to is really, really awesome. Especially because one of my favorite Pokemon to use is Mayhem, our Jolteon. And looking at his team, he's got an immunity in non-Mega Evolved Mega Manectric, he's got an immunity in Gliscor, and he's got an immunity in Mamoswine. So that's 3 immunities. Now, he does have some weaknesses to it as well, like Tentacruel and Tornadus, and Frogadier before Protean kicks in. But it's just like, do you really want to bring Mayhem? Granted, Mayhem outspeeds everything on his team, barring a Choice Scarfer and Mega Manectric, but it's just tough. It's tough. Volt switches are not really spammable in this situation, and I've kind of come to that conclusion. Another scary Pokemon is Breloom. Breloom has priority. I believe Breloom and Mamoswine are his only 2 priority users, barring Sucker Punch Haunter and Fake Out Persian. And Persian might actually get Sucker Punch as well. I'm not entirely sure, but I believe that's the only priority that Nips gets on his team. I just like to take note of certain things like priority, any glaring weaknesses. For example, Ice is a huge, huge weakness for Nips. Depending on what he brings, because obviously he doesn't have to bring all 12 mons, but Gliscor, Breloom, Tornadus, I thought there was one more, maybe not. Okay, I take back at least 2 of those huges. It's only 1 huge. It's just a big weakness. It's a semi-big weakness, and I really do expect him to bring both Breloom and Mamoswine. Mamoswine's not weak to ice. I don't know why I said Mamoswine. I really expect him to bring Gliscor and Breloom. I really, really do. I can't see him not bringing Gliscor. I believe that's his only Stealth Rock setter. No, Bronzong is as well. He might bring Bronzong over Gliscor. I could see that. I could definitely see that. Oh boy. And then Bronzong, really, I have to try to find out, I either have to try to find out if he's heat proof or if he's Levitate. I feel like he'd bring Levitate against me because Levitate would wall Mega Pinsir. Because close combat, you really don't want to use close combat on a Bronzong because, I mean, it's neutral and it's not stab. Or at least Earthquake is super effective. I might actually have to take that Earthquake off and go with... We'll go ahead and break it down later. But those are his 12 Pokemon. Those are the big threats. Delphox is also pretty scary to me. I technically feel like Delphox is going to end up being Choice Scarfed with Trick and or Will-O-Wisp. I really feel like he's gonna want to burn my Mega Pinsir. I just really feel that. From the bottom of my tummy, I really feel like he wants to burn my Mega Pinsir. I don't know why, but I just feel it. Really quick, I want to run a calc with Bronzong and Pinsir to see how much a +2... Okay, +2 close combat is not one shot. And since this one has Levitate, Earthquake does nothing. If he doesn't have Levitate, then Earthquake one shots at +2. Oh, man. I don't know. You guys will see. I'm really torn right now, but we're going to jump into the team and not waste any more time. You guys can see this is our team right here. And our first Pokemon kicks off with Sakura. Now, I felt like I needed to bring Sakura. I honestly built almost the entire team around her. And then, yes, pretty standard set. I'm running competitive because he has the Intimidate Mega Manectric. And with this spread that you guys see, being a calm nature but having max defense, I can take the best of both worlds. I can take a Bullet Seed as long as it doesn't hit 3. I could, or if he's not Life Orbed, I can take a Seed Bomb from the Breloom, because those are my 2 biggest threats, are Breloom and Manectric from this team, of course. and I can take a Thunderbolt from a Mega Manectric from this range. 100, I think it is like 75% to me from a Mega Manectric Modest. So, or perhaps Timid. I think Timid. I think I'm banking on him running Timid because I have a Jolteon, and then again, Jolteon can't do too much to him. But I feel like he's gonna run. I feel like he's gonna run Timid. So I have this competitive here because I think that I'll be able to take advantage of. I think that I'll be able to take advantage of the Intimidate, the competitive boost, because considering that Breloom and Manectric are the only things that really threaten me. If I can get rid of Breloom, I think that Sakura potentially sweeps his team. Now, I know you guys see the Tentacruel there. How are you going to take on the Tentacruel? Well, that's going to be kind of tough. I do have a reliable recovery in Protect, Recover, and having leftovers on me. That's really the only thing I have for Tentacruel. Tentacruel kind of walls me a bit. But besides that Pokemon, I feel confident in taking on everything else. I feel confident in taking on a Bronzong. That's fine. That's totally fine. It could Toxic me, which would be unfortunate, but I can go for Scalds, and it'll do a lot of damage, especially if I get that +1. But Milotic is really, it's my defensive mon, but it's really going to be offensive in this match, I feel like. For example, it's my switch in for Gliscor almost every time. Actually, I shouldn't say that. Because Toph is semi my switch in for Gliscor, because if he goes for EQ, then again, I don't want to lose my Choice Scarf in case his Gliscor's running knockoff, but we'll get into theorying out the match a little bit later. But this is one of my Pokemon that really I think is going to put in a lot of work this week. Super effective on Mamoswine. Tornadus can hit Breloom if it needs to, and you guys will see. You guys can see him running 12 speed EVs. That's not a mistake. You guys will see in just a little while by the end of this video why I'm running 12 speed EVs. But if there's any scenario in which I outspeed Breloom, I can one-shot it with Ice Beam. So it's definitely solid. It's definitely a solid Pokemon. You guys will see more why later on. We're gonna go ahead, and honestly, if I get rid of both Tentacruel and Breloom, then I know Milotic wins. But that's only if I get rid of those two Pokemon. That's gonna be kind of tough. Our next Pokemon's gonna help us with that, though. We have Toph, the Choice Scarf Landorus, very standard set, what we've been using. We have 220 speed just to make sure we outspeed Mega Manectric with our Choice Scarf. 36 HP and 252 attack. So we know that Mega Manectric is gonna want to, I know that Drew, I didn't know if I said this yet, but Nips is one of the only people in the league, I feel, and I could be making a bold statement, one of the only people that I've versed so far, maybe besides Kristen. Kristen made a lot of predictions, and they didn't always pay off. But I feel like Nips predicts a lot, and he's been predicting very well these past few weeks. I was watching his matches, and he's been predicting very, 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 very well. Forgive me, I just woke up and this is my coffee, so it's my best friend. He's predicting very well. So I feel like an HP Ice on an incoming Landorus is very possible. So he's not my switch in for Mega Manectric. However, Landorus-T is my switch in for Breloom every time. Even if he wants to hit me with a Rock Tomb, that's fine. I'm gonna intimidate him. If it's Gliscor, he's my switch in. I believe if it is Bronzong, he's my switch in. If it is Bronzong and Gyro Ball is gonna hurt like a banshee though, so maybe not. But Landorus-T is a switch in for at least 2 of my opponent's Pokemon. And of course, it's Max Attack Adamant, which means its Earthquakes are going to be hitting so hard. Granted, my opponent does have a few Earthquake immunities in Bronzong, Tornadus, and Gliscor, depending on if its Bronzong is running that ability. And I'm just going to have to bite the bullet and try to find out at some point, I think. I'm just going to have to. Because I don't think a U-turn's going to do it. I don't think a knockoff's going to do it. Earthquake is the ticket, so we have to try to figure that out. But this is our Toph. I'm excited to use it. I honestly think that because I think that if he brings Gliscor, that Toph just says no every time, like always, sort of. So we'll see what happens. I don't want to get knocked off, like I said, but I should say that Toph says no to Breloom. And Breloom, like I said, is one of the biggest threats to my opponent's team. So Toph also outspeeds everything. Doesn't outspeed Choice Scarf Delphox. It's something to note. And so I think if he does run Choice Scarf Delphox, it's gonna be a little bit of trouble. But he can't one-shot us anyway from full health. There's no way, and I can one-shot him with an Earthquake, so it's totally fine. Same thing with Durant. I can outspeed and do a lot of damage to Durant. I actually can bring it down to its Sash. I'm pretty sure. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Its special defense is due to its regular defense is amazing. I can one-shot Frogadier. I can one-shot Persian, and I believe one knockoff and one-shot a Haunter, unless it's holding a Colbur Berry, and it's defensively invested. So Toph really hits a lot of things, especially all the lower tier Pokemon on my opponent's team. So in case he brings any of those, Toph is here. Our next Pokemon is a familiar one, and this is one that I'm questioning right now in this moment. Let me bring you down to level 50 really quick. This is one that I'm questioning right now in this moment. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I have Swords Dance, Quick Attack, Facade, and Earthquake. So Earthquake is there because Earthquake hits the Tentacruel for super effective damage, but realistically, we can already one-shot the Tentacruel. It hits the Mega Manectric for super effective damage, which is what the important thing is. My problem with Manectric really counters my Mega Pinsir. It hits me for super effective damage. It intimidates me. It's a little bit of a problem. Unfortunately, Facade at +2 does not pick up the knockout. Neither does Return. Earthquake, however, does. Even after being intimidated, so at +1, I should say. Earthquake picks up the knockout. Close Combat does as well. So I think right there, looking at that, I'm just going to change this to Close Combat. I think I'm going to do that because the only benefit is Tentacruel, and honestly, a +2 Facade should one-shot Tentacruel anyway. Was that English right there? I don't think that was English. I'm not sure. Yeah, well, that's Return. Let me change it to Facade. And the reason why I'm running Facade is because I'm almost positive that he's going to try to burn me at some point with either the Delphox, or he's going to get a Scald burn, or what have you. Like, Scald does 35%, so I can't take many of them, but I don't know if I should even bank on getting burned. Last time, I leaned towards using Return and it paid off, and you guys were suggesting Facade and I used Return and it paid off, and I was really happy. But for some reason against this team, I really feel like I should be going Facade, but I'm looking at it and I mean, Toxic from Gliscor will help, I guess. Toxic from Tentacruel will help, I guess. And then Will-O-Wisp from Delphox. I just don't know if that's worth it. I don't know if that's worth running Facade. Especially because those, if it's Toxic, it doesn't even cripple my attacks. I don't have to worry about it, really. I just have to do it. I think we're going to leave it as Facade for now. I might change it before the match. I might change it before the end of this video. I really wish I could ask you guys. I would just do whatever you wanted. I feel like I should just go Return. No, Facade is there just in case. Because Close Combat hits the Mammoth for super effective. It hits the Persian for super effective. So I like EQ better, but EQ, he has so many immunities, and we already have top. There's no reason to go with that. So we'll just go Close Combat. He has, like I said, he has no priority that makes me want to actually. I think I'm gonna go Feint instead of Quick Attack. Because Feint, while weaker, look at Mamoosh. Mamoosh takes 58% from a Feint when I'm at +2. And I'm only saying that, obviously Close Combat is the move to go for, but if he's gonna go for Ice Shard, and Ice Shard does 50%, so if I'm in range for Ice Shard, I have to go with Feint. Quick Attack is 10 points stronger, which ends up being 15 points stronger. Actually, it ends up being like 19 points stronger. No, we're gonna stick with Feint. Feint and Facade. Should I just go Return? I don't know. I'm gonna move on because this is basically the Pokemon that we always use. Our next Pokemon is Lonely the Infernape. This time around, we are holding the Life Orb, and we are going U-Turn, Mach Punch, Overheat, and Thunder Punch. So I was really torn here. I was kind of leaning towards going fully specially offensive at first, and then I realized, hey, don't do that. That makes no sense when you have a Mach Punch, and you can take advantage of it because it hits Breloom really hard. It hits Mamoswine really hard, really hard, I should say. It hits a lot of things really hard. So don't waste that, especially when he's got a Persian and a Frogadier there. Don't do it. And I was originally running Fire Punch after I switched over to Physical, but then I realized he's got the Manectric, and Intimidate's just gonna rock my socks. So, of course, Manectric does not outspeed before it's Mega Evolved. Once it's Mega Evolved, it does outspeed me, and there's no way for me to slow it down because Manectric cannot be paralyzed. So, there's nothing I can do to slow it down. Otherwise, Lonely would be able to be a great late game sweeper. I feel like, because Thunder Punch takes care of Tentacruel, I believe it's a 2-hit KO. It's definitely a 2-hit KO. I'm just not sure. I'm not sure from what range. I'm not sure like how much I need to do to it in order to make it so that happens. Tentacruel, show us the money. Show us the money. I'm doing damage calcs, by the way, on nuggetbraids.com/damage calc. Thunder Punch does 64% to a fully defensive Tentacruel. I personally think that Tentacruel is going to be max special defense because of the Jolteon. I really do think that. You guys can see, yes, I am bringing Jolteon, by the way. I think that he's going to do that and try to pop a mirror code on me, but I'm going to go for it anyway, to be honest, because Jolteon does so much damage that it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I believe I'm running a modest Jolteon, but we'll get there when we get there. So this is our Lonely Ape, and it's got U-Turn for Switch Initiative along with Top. Those will be our two big Switch Initiative users and one other Pokemon. Then we have Mach Punch, Overheat, and Thunder Punch. So Mach Punch is there for priority. We outspeed the Breloom, and we can do a bunch of damage to a Breloom. If we don't feel like taking a Mach Punch, because his Mach Punch does 50% to us, our Mach Punch does, okay, not as much. Wow, okay. We are running, I think I'm gonna go Iron Fist. If I really want to take advantage of the, yeah, I'm gonna go Iron Fist instead of Blaze. Because Mach Punch does 50% as well to Breloom, so it's up to us. We can always figure it out. Depends on how much health he has left and what have you. But Mach Punch does do a good amount to him, to the Breloom. And then of course Mamoswine. Mamoswine takes 72% from a Mach Punch max, 60% min, so that's pretty useful. Unfortunately, Mach Punch is like just shy of being really, really good, but you guys will see that the point of this team is going to be to kind of, it's going to be a little bit of a slow battle, I feel like. I'm going to have to play smart, safe, and slow. That's the triple S win factor right there, if I win. Guys, I'm telling you, this is like this is one of my toughest battles for sure. I really feel like it. Mega Pinsir can really do a lot of work. He's got a lot of things that wall it though. I had to go close combat in case that Bronzong is going to be running. In case that Bronzong is going to be, honestly, his physical walls just wall it for days. They really do. But this is our ape. It's running Thunder Punch. It's running Mach Punch. It's running Overheat. No close combat. I know that's very, 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 very weird, and that's why I'm glad I threw close combat onto our Savage. But I don't have room for it. If I put close combat instead of Thunder Punch, Tentacruel literally walls me for days. True, I can take out Tentacruel with Toph, but I can't switch in on it. I cannot switch in on it. But you know what can switch in on Tentacruel? Segue. Rufus, our interesting Mew. So we have this very interesting Mew here, and I'm also not completely settled on this. He's running the Colbur Berry because I have to run the Colbur Berry at this point. He's got a lot of things that can learn knockoff. I believe Tornadus learns knockoff. Mamoswine I know learns knockoff. Gliscor learns knockoff. Bronzong probably does because look at him, he's a freak. Like there's so many things that learn knockoff. So I'm running Colbur Berry. I'm running Defog, Stealth Rock, Roost, and Will-O-Wisp. So here's my dilemma. I don't know if I want to run Stealth Rock. Now I know this Mew has no offensive attacks. However, it can wall Tentacruel forever. I personally believe that it can win the stall match between Tentacruel and itself. Granted, if Tentacruel is toxic, I'm gonna have to do a little switching. I'm gonna have to do a little finagling. That's true. But I have my answer for Tentacruel and Mayhem anyway, but I can't switch in on it. So this is really here for all those physical threats that I was talking about. I would love to burn his Gliscor turn 1. Chances are I'm leading with this Pokemon, by the way. Mew is most likely getting led with, 100%. Because I feel like there's just so many mind games with a Mew lead because you don't know what it's going to do. I'm also extremely tempted to run Transform on this thing. I am so tempted to run Transform instead of Roost, but that just doesn't pay off. It just does not pay off, I feel like. Oh my gosh, it's just like, imagine just taking one of your opponent's Pokemon that they just did not plan for. Like they did not plan for it because, oh my gosh, I didn't expect you to have my Pokemon. But anyway, Defog, Stealth Rock, Roost, Will-O-Wisp. Will-O-Wisp is there to burn the Breloom, burn the Mamoswine. I can take any hit from either of those, especially with the Colbur Berry. I'm not physically defensive, but once I get that burn off, I can Roost and I can outstall any of his physical threats. Durant is a pretty big problem for me. If I don't get that Durant burn, it can one-shot me. I believe it just misses the one shot. I believe it just misses the one shot, but I will check right now so we all have the knowledge going into this match. X-Scissor has an 18% chance at Oko, so that sounds like an Oko to me in my luck. So if we don't burn that thing, it's a huge problem if he brings it, but we could be fast and we could be Tree Scarf Flamethrower, so I don't know if he'd really take that risk. I'm really thinking about running Transform. I think it'll be fun, and I think it could be really useful. My Transform targets would be Mega Manectric, because then I'd eat up a Thunderbolt. They would be, I mean, I would love him. There's just so many Pokemon that would be really fun to steal from him. You know? Like, they'd be really fun. But I feel like, see, the Mew is there because it can switch in, it's specially defensive. Max special defense, as you guys can see. It can switch in on the Tentacruel. It's really my Tentacruel and Mega Manectric check, where, like, I come in and I kind of just check those Pokemon. Of course, his answers for me would be Durant. If he wants to take a Psychic type attack, he'd go out into Bronzong. That's pretty much it, unless he's running Assault Vest Tornadus. So this is why I'm running this instead. I would really like to run like Psychic or Psyshock. I'd really like to run Psyshock, but it's just too hard to fit this on here because I want hazards because he's got a Tornadus, he's got a Delphox, he's got a Durant which takes neutral. Almost everything in his team takes neutral except for like Bronzong and Bronzong. Everything else takes neutral. So that will really rack up, especially considering we have a Roostmon and a Recovermon in Sakura. And I really want to run Defog because I feel like him getting rocks up is going to be a priority for him. And the only thing I could it's just I have to get rid of those rocks if I want Savage. If I don't want to take all that residual damage we were just talking about. Because look, this is neutral, this is neutral, this is neutral, this is neutral, this is super effective. N times 4 when I Mega Evolve. So rocks are a huge problem for me, so I have to keep it. I just convinced myself. I could go with not Roost. I really could, but that kind of ruins the stall breaking Mew. It really does. It just doesn't. It doesn't make it okay. So we have to keep Roost. We could go Psychic, I guess, but we're on base 100. We're not invested into it. We're invested more into being a wall. So I'm gonna go with this. I'm gonna rock out with this. I really think I should go Transform because Transform with 207 HP would be so amazing. Imagine a Mega Manectric with 207 HP. Oh my gosh. I really don't know. I guarantee there'll be a point in the match and I'm like, why wasn't I running Transform? But it's either I get rid of Will-O-Wisp or Transform, or Roost and Transform. So we're gonna keep this. We need a Will-O-Wisp against this team. Our final Pokemon is the Pokemon that we're putting all of our eggs in right now. It is Mayhem, our Jolteon. You guys can see it's very different. I'm running Focus Sash, I'm running Baton Pass, I'm running Agility, I'm running Hidden Power Ice, and I'm running Thunderbolt. I did not want to run Volt Switch. I did not run Volt Switch Choice Specs because I don't think it works well against my opponent's team. Granted, like I said, he's got those 2 big weaknesses in Tornadus and Tentacruel, but that's about it. He's got 3 possible immunities, and it just doesn't seem worth it. Now, of course, this is still one of our fastest Pokemon. I am running Modest because, like I said, his Mega Manectric outspeeds me all the time. So even if I'm timid, he outspeeds me. So I'm gonna go Modest because Modest still outspeeds his other fastest Pokemon, barring a Scarf, which would be his Persian. Actually, I checked Tornadus, not Persian, but I feel like I still outspeed. Yes, I still outspeed. He maxes out at 167. Oh no, wait, that's Adamant. Hold on. No, that's Quiet. Jolly is 183. So Persian outspeeds us by 1 point, but for a Persian, I'm not gonna change all of that. I'm really not. If he brings Persian, we have our switch in, which is tough. So the idea behind this Pokemon is to bring it in on a Tentacruel somehow with like a U-turn, a slow U-turn. It can't even be a slow U-turn. I don't know what it would be. It would just be a U-turn. We just have to take a Scald. We just have to take a Scald. And we basically, and this has to be mid to late game. Mid to late game. Like I need Breloom to either be down or almost down. And then I need Tentacruel. If Tentacruel's my target, I kind of need Tentacruel gone. I don't need Tentacruel gone, but I probably need Tentacruel low and burned. I need Tentacruel low and burned. So that's our pretty much ticket. What Jolteon wants to do, it wants to set up an Agility. It wants to do Baton Pass. My target is Sakura. My target is 100% Sakura because I really believe that Sakura, once it's at, the thing is, the reason why I say mid to late game is because if Mega Manectric has to switch in on me to try to take me out and gives me the competitive boost, the reason why I have 12 speed EVs is so that I outspeed Mega Manectric after my Agility. Mega Manectric taps out at 205, I believe. I will double check right now, but yes, it's 205 when he's timid. So obviously 103 times 2 goes to 206. So we 100% outspeed him every time, every day of the week. Every day of the week we outspeed him. So that's my plan because Mega Manectric, if I'm at +1, if I'm on my Milotic, and I'm at +1, I do 66% with Scald. So it's a 2-hit KO. His Thunderbolt, like I said, does 78%. So we can win that if we're at full HP. And if we're not, we have Protect, we have Recover, we can work stuff out. We can PP stall if we really have to. Honestly, we actually can potentially PP stall that entirely, but we wouldn't want to do that. We just want it to be mid-late game. I'd want Rocks up. I need Mega Manectric pretty hurt. And then I think Sakura can really sweep. Like I said, Tentacruel is the only thing that stops me, that really hurts me. It's gonna be a little tough for sure. It's gonna be tough. It looks like for Tentacruel, I have to burn it, and we're gonna try to burn each other, and it's gonna become that. But I have Recover. So that's why I think I can eventually win that one. And I hate playing like that. Like it's not my style. But unless we can get rid of Tentacruel early with Mayhem, unless we can just fire for Thunderbolt before we do any of that. Fire for Thunderbolt, who cares? Boom. But I think early game, I'm gonna be clicking Baton Pass a lot when Jolteon comes in. Because I'm gonna expect him to switch and I'm gonna click Baton Pass, which would be really good for momentum instead of going for Volt Switch. Because if he goes out into Gliscor or Mamoswine or Manectric, I can go to Baton Pass and just switch out into the appropriate Pokemon, whether it is, if it's Gliscor, then it is Sakura that comes in. If it's Mamoswine, it still is Sakura that comes in. So getting rid of that Tentacruel is our biggest priority. Once that Tentacruel is gone, we can start making plays. And the way we get rid of that Tentacruel is with Toph. We have to take a Scald, or we have to predict a switch into it Or if he's never gonna switch into from a baton pass. But if he switches out, like if Lonely's in and he switches out into Tentacruel, and we go out into and we U-turn, and then we go on to Toph, and then if we can get that Thunderbolt off, we're fine. If we get the Thunderbolt off, we're fine. That makes me really want to go ahead and run Psyshock on this thing. Like he has no immunities to Psyshock. Do we get rid of Roost? I feel like I'm gonna regret so much if I get rid of Roost. And I need a Will-O-Wisper. I can't do it. I cannot do it. Man, this matchup is so tough. Tentacruel is so good. If he didn't have so many Earthquake immunities, then I would be so much happier. He's got so many Earthquake immunities though. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. By the way, with agility, we can also pass it to our Infernape, which late game would be really, really good. Because depending on, that's why Milotic's not always going to be the target. Same thing like Savage might end up being the target so that I can outspeed the Mega Manectric. Like there's other options for sure, but that's definitely our biggest one. There's really almost no point in giving it to Toph, although I feel like we're going to get into a situation where that is going to happen for some reason. Like he has Choice Scarf Delphox and we know it, and now we just need to go into this and Earthquake everything and win if we got rid of his Earthquake immunity. So it's going to be a really tough matchup. I'm really undecided about this Mew. I am really undecided about this Mew. Defog, Stealth Rock, Roost, Will-O-Wisp. I hate non-offensive Pokemon. I really do. But I need Defog. He's going to put rocks up with either Bronzong or Gliscor, and I need to get rid of them. I absolutely need to get rid of them. I just got to keep it like this. I 100% have to keep it like this. I 100% have to keep it like this. I 100% have to keep it like this. Yeah, I have to. All right. Well, this is going to be our team. I'm a little worried. I'm not going to lie. We have had quite the winning streak. And if it ends against my best friend, I really couldn't ask for a better ending. And he's been playing fantastic. So we'll see what happens, how the match goes. I'm a little worried about my Rufus. I really am. And honestly, I'm probably going to end up going Return instead of Facade. I feel like I'm giving too much control to my opponent if I go Facade. But then if I get burned and I don't have it, I'm going to scream. I am going to scream. Oh my gosh, I really will scream. I really will scream. I really will scream. I really will scream. Do I stay Facade? I think I just stay Facade. I think I stay Facade. The damage difference, even looking at it, I'm just gonna look at it just against a, oh my gosh, it's a lot of difference. If I'm not burned, it's a huge difference. And then when I am burned, it's, when I'm burned, oh my gosh, it does so much more. I mean, I could always try for the burn. I could always risk the biscuit. Like I said, a Scald does 35% max, 29 min. But then if he goes Ice Beam, then it's like, oh, you went Scald Ice Beam, now I'm dead. Wow, that was fun. Since I don't have EQ, I can't set up either if his Gliscor is still around. I think we just go Return and avoid getting burned. I think it's that simple. We just go Return and avoid getting burned. That's what we have to do. If he switches in Delphox, I know that he's Choice Scarf Will-O-Wisp. I know it. I'll probably go right down into Infernape. I won't even care. I will not even care. And he doesn't even need to go. He doesn't even need to go Will-O-Wisp. He just goes Flamethrower. I'm dead. So what am I saying? I would just have to go right out into Infernape no matter what, because no, I can't. I'd have to go out into Rufus. Yep, I have to go into Rufus. All right, we're gonna go Return Faint. That's gonna be fine. And I think with Rufus, we're gonna keep it what it is, because I really need to make sure that I get rid of hazards if he puts them up. He has also access to Toxic Spike, so it's really, really crazy. I need Defog. I need to put my own. The question is, do I need to put my own rocks? I really think it's gonna be necessary. I really think it's gonna be necessary. I really do. I really think it's going to be necessary, so I have to keep this moveset. I would really like Psychic, or Psyshock, I really would. But since I'm not running Leftovers and running Cobra Berry, to make sure I can take a knockoff from that Mamoswine and get my Will-O-Wisp off. Yep, that's it. All right, so this is gonna be our team. If you guys enjoyed, please show some shady love. That thumbs down below, the like button. Always appreciates when you give it a little tickle. I'm gonna get the heck out of here and actually have this match in like 20 minutes. Have yourselves a good day, but above all else, keep it shady.